multi-man ultis.
And as we have seen with Beichuan on this roster for BLG, we have expected him whenever he is playing things like the Sejuani.
Didn't have a level 6 there. Very, very close, but not quite.
On below 300 HP, Elk at 50%. Hope is sending it with the Killer Instinct, knowing that he has level 6. Whoa! I was not expecting that damage to come out, but that is first blood for Hope.
Yeah, Hope stayed alone in lane as Kale actually roamed, so he ended up getting that extra tick towards that level 6. Reminder right there, Elk had lost his flash in the previous 2 versus 2.
Glacial Prison used, gets the flash out of Tarzan. He is level 6, but he's not gonna be able— oh, what? Beichuan stole the last grub! That's 3 grubs for them, and Tarzan no flash! Equalizer right on top, thanks to the collapse from Bin. He's flashing on top of KL, knowing that he's got nowhere to go. Big fight win for BLG! And On is here with a 3v2. Elk already pushed in the mid lane, so they have push in. KL is the target. He's still not level 6, so he doesn't have the damage reduction from his ultimate. Shanks is under fire, tries to look for a jump onto Beichuan. Wait a minute, Shanks almost outplays it as KL found another one on the before Knight is able to clean it up. Hope is now trying to match Elk here on the other play.
BLG that you are stronger when you are taking these fights, so there is no reason to force the issue right here. They're gonna take the easy path, just take the referral, maybe bump it onto the mid lane tower, see how fast AL responds, which is not fast enough because Susana was in the side lane. Shanks didn't commit his TP right here, so that's a pretty uncontested. The last target for AL, talking about this BLG, as Sejuani with a trillion HP trying to scout away, and the dragon has been started.
8,000 already, 7,000. BLG trying to force their way through the top side of this river. Knight getting ready to check Tarzan, knock him up. Maybe equalizer right into the back line. Knight is able to connect as well. Tarzan secures the dragon, but can they win the fight? That's the big question. Tarzan just getting soloed out by Bin as he falls the deer over the wall and burns it for roast venison. BLG, what a massive wipe of the fight. Takedown 3. It's at least nice for anyone's legend so far, but now the Otacon, they have full pressure on it since Shanks was forced to base. This is going to be a massive team fighting buff for BLG.
I mean, right here, BLG cut off AL from their own jungle, which means they had full control over the bot vision. And I feel like I've had a slight beef right here in this game, particularly with AL on their vision control and the setups
but
around.
Also, their front line has to create that space, and the onus is on them to be even more diligent about doing so. As with this lead, BLG is 2 levels down, so he's just using Flandra to safely walk in and guarantee himself even more gold and a little bit of extra XP as fast as possible. But the proactive TP ensures that Knight is able to clear out this tier 2 on the bot side, or at least Flandra was able to answer it, so Knight doesn't take the turret quite outright. Bin is answering on the top side, and even though
hold up,
On going forward with the quickness, being able to find Shanks into the back line. Glacial Prison was already exhausted. Oh, great equalizer. Beichuan trying to flash on top of Shanks, but he's able to use the buster shot and the jump to get away, but that means KO is left for dead, and Elk is able to Bin. Baron is alive, and look where BLG are already going for. Bin is just going to stall this fight as long as possible, and eventually he will die, but he's going to pop the Seekers. This gives more time for BLG to burn down the Baron, and don't tell me Shanks dies too through the Leandry's bump. That would not be ideal. All right, well, Shanks survived.
Time of the week, and I feel like this game is as good as clinically done, I think, for BLG right here. All they have to do is just use their pressure, get that Yone on the side lane, grab the remainder of tier 2 towers that remain for AL. They're all pretty low HP. Just dispose of that, keep AL in their base, rinse and repeat.
And you know what? Even active those as possible, just so that they can create space for Shanks and Hope. Tarzan knows he's not going to be the big carry this game in terms of being able to DPS all these guys. He has to make plays.
This is still a win condition right there. The only problem is that you're stuck in your base. You can't walk in your jungle. Hold on.
Flandre forced to already use the onslaught. KL trying to go in onto Elk, but he's by himself. That's an easy 5-on-4 now guaranteed for the side of BLG.
Hanks has it. Hope has it. Like, they're right there, but BLG just have push everywhere. If you cannot walk inside your own jungle, you cannot walk into the river, you cannot play for those objectives. It doesn't matter at this point, I guess, how many items you do have.
Look at what Knight is building. Yeah, it is definitely a tough one for BLG. Okay, they're going to send in right onto Bin. They know that he's isolated, but he still has a Zonias. Now Beitwan is here to see if he can bail out his top laner. Teleport comes in for Knight. Hope has sent it, and it ends up just being a 1-for-1, which is not where you want to be as anyone's legend. Flandre will fall as well. Knight picks up a double, and BLG, knowing that they have a 4-on-3, they're going to try to take as much from the base as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, AL, they had to make a move. They tried to make a move. It didn't work. Tarzan?
3Q man flash into the Lilting Lullaby, but Knight still had the QSS, is able to pop it so he doesn't fall asleep, and Tarzan is the one going night-night. Shanks, the only damage carry left, but Elk flashing forward to guarantee the Feather Storm into the Rake pullback. Anyone's legend now down all 5 members. BLG, the only thing that's saving anyone's legend for now is that they don't have a minion wave immediately to push into the base, but it's coming through. And will they have enough time to push to the end? Probably not, just the inhibitor turret.
That fight was so anticlimactic because eventually there was no way for BLG to actually end the game here, so rinse and repeat. They're arriving from that mid lane. They weren't really that far away. And on the screens right now, Beitwan pretty low.
Super in trouble. KL and Flandre trying to beat the front line as much as possible. On doesn't get the grand entrance, but finds the quickness on the Shanks. He's stunned up for a moment. Tarzan following up with that bloom, but Flandre is still getting burned down by the rest of the damage dealers by BLG. Shanks tries to send it for Bin, but he gets interrupted by Beitwan with that Arctic Assault. Elk is still pumping. Knight is ready to send it once again. Tarzan trying to find damage as much as he can. Shanks jumping in for Bin, but he's getting spaced and Astral glided on. No way out for this Tristana. Elk picks up a triple. Hope died somewhere in the timeline as well. Tarzan's the only person to try and defend his base.
BLG are just too far ahead. The levels, the extra items are coming through. The 10,000 gold lead is coming through. And they're gonna clean up this base. First inhibitor is gonna fall down. They're gonna leave the bottom lane inhibitor still standing. But if you look on the top left of your screen, it's 20 seconds for the next Baron. So making sure that you're setting up for the big purple worm is more important than taking that second inhibitor. I mean, one push and both things like, Knight!
Tarzan doesn't even get a chance to pop the Zonia's Hourglass. He knew he was cut off.
AL. It's gonna be a pretty free Baron for BLG.
Get a chance to look at the picture-in-picture. It looks like that's where Hope died in the aftermath. It was just Knight forcing the issue, flashing
2-0 as the 1-0 is pretty certain right there. You know how we said that, as I'm saying, is a BLG just pushing with Baron right here, guys. It's as simple as push the towers, kill remaining AL members, end the game. It'd be so funny because we're saying that the top 2 is much isolated from the rest of the teams, but BLG might actually insert themselves back in that conversation.
Potentially, now that Beitwan has brought some revitalization that was needed for this roster. Anyone's legend already getting stunned up by that glacial prison. Flandre trying to hold his own, but he's already down to 50% HP. Knight has a lot of damage out front and now back, but
Knight
at least... Oh my
just did the explosion to the rest of his team.
You know what? They don't care.
Why not?
BLG are like, they can take the explosion. Or anyone's legend just gonna send it right here. Tarzan right in front of Beitwan's face. Flandre is gonna take up as much as he can. Unstoppable onslaught onto the frontline members. Tarzan looking for that lilting lullaby, putting members to sleep. Shanks looking for the first reset onto Beitwan, but we've got Hope diving past. They found Elk. They're down 12,000 gold advantage by the way, and somehow anyone's legend. They're bringing it back. BLG, they cooked too much. They disrespected anyone's legend, and now AL have 5 members to 2 on the map.
BLG sent it as a last-second resort for themselves. Get away with 3 kills, a bunch of shutdowns, and most importantly, the Dragon Soul. Just as a reminder right here, when you are 3-4 items deep, when you're that far into the game, items don't matter as much. As you can see, okay, overstaying does matter though, so Knight's gonna get another one for himself.
Carelessly split up like that again, but the fact that anyone's legend was able to pull that off gives them a second win as they're gonna try to defend this siege onto the bottom inhibitor.
Yeah, that was done through many choke points and many avenues inside that jungle. Right here, it's a pretty much plain open field for BLG. That's a very early ult!
Forced to use the Featherstorm early. KL's gonna send it. They had to defend through the front line. A lot of damage right into Flandre and KL. And Knight finds Shakes this time around. Hope in a 1v5. I don't think it's gonna happen this time. BLG, stop with the cooking, start with the precision, and close out this game for the first win of the series.
Huge win right here from BLG, picking up that first win versus AL, who 2-0'd the #1 team in this split in the likes of Tess. And BLG, if you are a believer, you're gonna have sort of like a very hard time in pinning down certain champions to try and capitalize on them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Trouble. I think anyone's Legends methods
So
of the
impressive. And when Lucian Nami trades onto you, you've got shields, you've got mobility, you can literally play through the wave and stuff like this. So this is a small positioning things that you can do. You guys are also playing in your solo queue, Karma, Ezreal. Just sort of like River, no fight yet onto Hope. However, BLG are looking to fight this.
H1 trying to cut off Kale. Remember, this is a squishy Nami forced to flash away. Dragon was secured for the side of anyone's Legend. They're going to try to push H1 away, but the Crescent Guard is at least blocking a lot of damage, but they're still able to do him away. And now BLG have to kite on back. Trust in Elk's Ezreal on, trying to buy as much space as he can. Forced to flash away on the Karma. Bin being another front line here as Tarzan sends it for the Grand.
Elk doesn't even have his Trinity Force complete, and right here, Shanks.
Oh, Shanks, he tries to shift, gets the shield, but it's still not enough. No chance in trying to burn the flash away, and Knight could be in trouble here, but if he can cut this one out from Tarzan, maybe it'll be enough. He blocks incoming damage, flashes the seismic shove, and finds the spear, but now can H1 equalize it? Doesn't find the wind, becomes lightning. Tarzan walks out alive. Really in a fighting position to walk up. Meanwhile, Shanks is looking, and he flashes over the seismic shove. Knight still has a flash of his own. No Weaver's Wall for the next 2 seconds, but he's not getting out of this one. Shanks being able to rise up and get one back for himself.
I think this is don't necessarily have a formation they want to play for. Talking about formation, H1, looking for Shanks.
Wait, but Shanks was trying to... He tried to TP and he got canceled. Oh, boy. Just as the praise was coming through for getting the 1v1 on the Knight, H1.
Insanely confused right there. Maybe it was a misclick by Shanks. It doesn't make sense any other way as Hope.
Elk already burning the barrier here, forced to flash away, but here comes the Pantheon, but great by H1 to at least punt him away for a little bit, but still, Elk goes down to Hope's Lucian. Here comes the Stand United, but it was canceled. How was it canceled? Did Bid hit the W and just displace him? There's no other way.
There's no other way. Bin just hit over Flander with a wall, quite literally, and just moved him over. Holy, I don't know if we're gonna have a clip of that top lane.
Please,
of whatever happened right there.
See if the observer. Oh, please,
here we go.
Cast. There it is. I love this game, man.
That was perfect. That was perfect. Okay, but that fight was pretty much a calling on what we're expecting to see.
Shanks, this could be trouble. He knows that Shanks doesn't have a flash of his own. He's gonna shift over the wall, but Bin, he attacks the E! Burn, baby, burn! It's not gonna happen. Shanks survives.
Ooh. 1 HP right there.
Back on over, seeing if they can catch out on here. Has flash available, dashing aggressively. The tether is connecting and roots him up. H1 now gonna dash on in. He tries to dash away, but H1 falls with his own flash. Crescent Guard at the ready. Tarzan's in trouble. He has to fight a 2v3 and he's bailing. He's leaving Gale to die, but at least this fish has a flash of her own. And now Knight is coming to pay the piper. Tarzan could be in trouble. Cannot sidestep. The seismic shove was trying to sidestep it, but BLG just running away with the game and extending the lead to 2,000.
It's actually crazy. BLG do not have the semi-globals to follow up on a fight, but they're committing their bodies into the case, and they're just outnumbering AL in their own game. They're looking for the mid lane tower.
Flandre could be in trouble, has a flash if necessary, forced to flash over the already Elk is forced down below 60% HP. Bin is the target now. Tarzan looking for a flashless York. Stun sets up the kill for Shanks to be able to pick up the pieces with the Sand Soldier. It's actually Tarzan that gets him. Meanwhile, fight back in the 2v2. Hope able to sidestep the True Shot barrage as BLG continue to push the pressure. H1 now looming over to the bottom side of the map, knowing that Tarzan was here. He is 13, level 12 against Tarzan. Sand United is coming through. This time, the Shen arrives to the party, but can Shanks provide the damage necessary? He's too low to compete. H1 fighting to the very bitter end, but he finally gets cut off. BLG able to...
See that Bane is actually starting to walk those up both side river, but then he realized otherwise. These big chunks are what we're talking about when we're like, oh, this is what Lucia does really, truly well, and it's been displayed right there. The trade that you take, the fact that you've got an extra member on the map, but now that Atakan is the one under threat, this is where you see BLG like actually move to try and find him.
Could be tricky. I don't think Ben is moving quite yet. Is he gonna commit? No, he's TPing now. They need to compete for this Otacon. Already below 4,000 HP. Tarzan's on the other side. They gotta stop dealing damage and wait for Tarzan to get back around. The Weaver's Wall cuts him off. He can't get in. Beach one. Cast the Crescent Guard and punted him away, even though with the flash that Tarzan had, Thornbound Otacon just got gifted to BLG. They're gonna run one down and look for more stragglers here. Then, can he slow the members down? Hope getting tagged by the ghouls. Another E does not connect. Flash from Knight, looks for the seismic shove, forces the flash out of KL. Anyone's Legend is sent packing, and BLG dominate the map.
I want you all to know that Knight had 0 damage this entire fight, and yet he was the most impactful of them all. That wall to cut...
to completely run the map.
And Zinza is one of the best champions to do that with. You get ahead in the early game, he's accepting their vision inside the top quadrant of Tarzan's jungle, which can then mean one pick, could mean Baron. Hold up, talking about picks.
H1's gotta be careful though. Here comes the Shen looking for Knight as Shake scoops him right into the taunt. H1 also falls next, and Anyone's Legend surge back to life as they now have a 5-on-3. Baron is alive. No jungler from the side of BLG. They can try to rush this objective down.
What? That is a H1 giveth, H1 taketh from the side of BLG. That was a little bit too deep, and AL were so quick on the trigger. However, that is Poke Ezreal and Karma versus 5, sure, and Bin's on the top side, but let's see if they can poke enough to stop AL from taking down Baron. Oh, I think it's working. Oh, I think it's working.
He's now looking. He doesn't have Embers to bite. He's just giving his life to try and force Elk out of the pit. He's already used Flash. He's already used Shift. They're charging. Oh! They lost Tarzan. Ben on the flank. He's going to give his life to make sure that there's no more smite for the side of Anyone's Legend. Baron is no longer a thing for AL. Homies, but Baron, official 6th member of the BLG squad, as this dragon is getting burned down. Tarzan sending it. Immediately punted back by H1 with the pressing guard. Tidal Wave rips the back line and just tries to stall them from now. Shanks trying to lock down the Xin Zhao. Not enough damage comes through on the side of Hope's Lucian. It's enough to at least guarantee the tier 1 in the mid lane. And maybe Anyone's Legend could look to bleed this pressure into the top side.
Take a few more towers on the map. This is only the 2nd tower that AL have been able to take. Hope. Nice dodge.
God. Oh! Hope is in trouble. Forced to flash. Here comes the Weaver's Wall. Knight is going to send it downtown looking for that Lucian, knowing that he doesn't have summoner spells here. Barrier already popped. Knight for looking one more. Tarzan going to valiantly defend his AD carry from falling. Shanks is in trouble, but he flies over the left wall. Tarzan's now in trouble. He gets flubbed back. Seismic shove connects, and now they don't have their jungler BLG having open access to Baron.
What is going on in this game? We have Hope dodging, then he gets out, then Beijing dashes back in. They try to kill Hope, but he gets away, and then Knight sends it, but then he's not the one dying with no flash. What?
And this Baron is for free for BLG. There's no smite. No one can even get in range to see if they can try and yoink it away with a stray skill shot. Shanks, oh my goodness, I thought he was in no man's land there. Still had the shuffle. Knight boldly walks forward, catches Shanks with the seismic shove. Ember's Divine only pushes them back momentarily. Hope tries to empty the clip. A little bit of damage to the backline, but BLG got what they came for. Tarzan still dead for another 2 seconds. BLG will get the tier 2 in the mid lane. They're gonna look for as much as possible. TP from Knight rejoining the fight.
Can they potentially look to end right here? 35 seconds onto Azir. If they get a second pick right there with a knockup from Knight, they could potentially choose to end the game. It's not gonna be the case. AL are overextended, but BLG are forcing this game.
They have Baron buff on their side. They have York Maiden. They have essentially a 7-man push with Cannon Minion and Maiden. Tarzan goes into the back line. Elk forced the flash. Stand united. I think it got interrupted again. No Flandre comes through. But if you only kill the support, that's nothing. You've got to take out Elk. But he still lives. And now it's Hope. The shining hope. It's not going to be enough to take out BLG. Revitalized, rejuvenated with H1.